So in the previous video, as you guys know, that we have solved the same beam using the slope deflection equation. In this video we are supposed to solve this given continuous beam using the moment distribution method. So when you start solving the moment distribution method, what you try to observe is that the number of the joints which are connected by more than one member, right? So as you know, this is a beam that we have, both end are fixed. Okay, both far end are fixed, A and D are fixed, and internal joints B and C are there, and which are connected by more than two members. It means what, in our distribution factor table, when you are solving for distribution factor, in this table we need to consider B and C. We can solve this later. Okay, anyhow we can easily solve the distribution factors for BA, BC, CB and CD. Okay. So before that, as with respect to our given problem, we'll try to understand how do we accommodate or how do we account the sinking of support B and C, and how to account this theta A value which is given to you. So there are three movements that are given to you. The first is the rotation that is taking place at joint A. Then there is a sinking of support B and sinking of support C. We need to accommodate all of these three. Okay, so first we will go by one. First we will include theta A. So I have already explained you that when you apply some moment, okay, at any joint, it will create a rotation, right? So the formula to calculate that rotation is this one, right? I hope you all remember this. So 4 EI theta A divided by L will give you the value of moment that is being applied. Okay, now this we can call it as moment due to rotation. So this is the moment that will be developed because of the rotation. And how much is the rotation that is happening here? Theta A, theta is equals to 1 by 250. So what you need to do is that I am just trying to draw another figure considering only element A. Okay, so here this is far end which is B, and this is your near end A, and this will rotate like this. Okay, this will rotate like this. So the rotation here is equals to theta A, and theta is given you to 1 by 250. The moment that is required to create this will be equals to 4 EI theta A divided by LAB, right? So the reaction that is developed on this side will be equal to 2 EI theta A divided by LAB. So we can calculate how much is the moment that is should be applied because of the theta A here. When theta A is equals to 1 by 250, we can determine how much is the moment that is being exerted here, which is 4 EI theta A divided by LAB. Similarly, because of the application of moment which is equals to 4 EI theta A divided by LAB, there will be a carryover of the moment, and the carryover of the moment will be half of this value. Okay, so it will be 2 EI theta A divided by LAB. Now that is what I have determined in both these equations. So this is the first thing you need to do whenever they give you the rotation. Okay, so the rotation at any end. So when they give you the rotation value, you need to determine how much is the moment that is generated because of this rotation, which is equals to 4 EI theta A divided by LAB, and the carryover of that moment on the other side. If the rotation is on the A end, the carryover should be on the B end, which is equals to 2 EI theta A divided by LAB. You need to determine this. So the value of 4 EI theta A divided by LAB is 2.44. Now similarly, the value that is solved is for 2 EI theta A divided by LAB is 1.22. Now I'll tell you where to use these two values when we go to the table where we solve the end moments. Okay, now this is one part which is completed, the first part where you will use the theta A value. Okay, next we will go to sinking of support. As we know, this is the same figure which I have used for the slope deflection also. Okay, here the joint B sinks by B dash, which is 30 mm, and joint C sinks by C dash, which is 20 mm. Okay, and I had also explained you what is the differential sink between C dash and B dash, which is 10 mm. Okay, now this diagram I have already explained. Now the next thing is that I just try to give you the example of slope deflection equation, and here this is quite different. Okay, in slope deflection equation, if you remember, this is the equation we had. MAB is equals to MFAB plus of 2 EI divided by L 2 theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L was there, right? So as you can see, this part I am trying to explain, which is A end is at a higher elevation, B is at a lower elevation. The moment that is created, okay, the moment that is created here is anti-clockwise, okay, which is negative. So m dash AB, I'm calling dash because the value that I'm trying to derive here are sinking moments. Sinking moments, I have mentioned it as dash. So if I simply say m AB, they are representing the end moments. If I say it as m dash AB, they are representing the moments due to sinking. So from now onwards, whenever I dash m dash AB, they are representing the moments due to sinking. Okay, so m dash AB is equals to, or m BA is equals to, m dash BA is equals to minus 6 EI delta B divided by L AB square. Now see here, whenever the far end is at lower elevation, near end is at higher elevation, you used to take delta B by L itself. You used to take it as positive value. Now what I'll do is, I explained you while deriving the equation for slope deflection. If I multiply this value and this value, it will give me minus 6 EI delta divided by L square. Okay, so this is the moment that was created because of the translation of any joint, okay, of any member, right? So minus 6 EI delta divided by L square. This is the value that we have to arrive at. Okay, now m dash BA and m dash AB, sorry, a small correction. Okay, so m dash AB and m dash BA will be equals to minus 6 EI delta B divided by L AB square. Okay, so these two values I have determined. Now similarly, we can solve for B dash C dash C dash D. Okay, so for these two moments will be generated. This is called as m dash BC, m dash CB. Similarly here also m dash CD, m dash DC will be generated. Now let us look into whether those equations are positive or negative. Now if you remember the equation that we solved for BC and MCB, there I took minus delta BC by L. When I substitute minus delta BC by L, it will become like this: 6 EI delta BC divided by L BC square. Right, now we converted that in terms of positive. Now this is what you need to remember. Okay, so whenever in case of moment distribution method, you need to calculate these moments called moments due to sinking. These moments are calculated based on near end and far end. Okay, if near end is at higher elevation, far end is at lower elevation, your equation for moment due to sinking will be minus 6 EI delta divided by L square. Okay, if in case of near end is at lower elevation, far end at higher elevation, you need to take the equation as 6 EI delta divided by L square. You need to use it as positive, you should not take it as negative. Now similarly, we can solve for MCD also. In case of MCD, again looking into the near end and far end, near end is C and far end is D. So near end is at a lower elevation, the far end is at higher elevation. Henceforth, the moment 6 EI delta divided by L square will remain positive itself. Okay, now verifying that with the slope deflection equation, we have found the same thing. Okay, this is what you need to remember. Okay, first what you need to do, you need to understand the structure, you need to find out the relationship between the near end and far end. Based on that, you have to write the equation, which is 6 EI delta divided by L square, whether it will be positive or negative. In this case, where I have divided into two portions, one is AB portion and the other one is BD portion. So between AB, whatever the members that are coming, which is AB is the only member which is coming, will be in negative moment, which is minus 6 EI delta divided by L square. In case of the BD portion, which is where there are two members, BC is a member and again there is a CD member. So if you compare the near end and far end of both the members, near end is at a lower elevation, far end is at a higher elevation, then henceforth the moments that are created due to sinking or due to translation will remain positive itself. Okay, this is what you need to remember. Okay, so once you need to substitute the value of EI, the EI value was 764. Now relatively we need to substitute the value of delta also. When you are calculating for m dash AB and m dash BA, we need to consider the translation that is taking place between B and B dash, which is equals to 30. Okay, now 30 mm, it is in terms of mm, you have to divide by 1000 in order to get in terms of meter. So after solving, this is what I am getting. So the moments due to sinking for member AB, which is m dash AB and m dash BA, are 5.5 minus 5.5. Now similarly we can calculate for m dash bc and m dash cb. In this case we need to substitute the value of delta as 10, because the difference of elevation between B and C is 10 mm, right? Now similarly we can solve for m dash cd and m dash dc. The delta value that we need to substitute is equals to 20 mm, which is delta c, as substituted here and found out. So these are the values which are representing you the moments due to sinking at individual members. Okay, so once you solve the moments because of the rotation, moments because of the sinking, then we can solve for distribution factor. Okay, now I have already explained you how to consider the distribution factor. We need to consider the joints which are connected by more than one member. So joint B is connected by BA and BC. Okay, I have mentioned this. Next, joint C is connected by CB and CD, right? So now let us find out what is the stiffness value. So stiffness value for BA will be, you see here, I is remaining constant as it is explained in the given problem. E and I are constant. So the only variation that will happen between individual members are the length of the members, right? So let us go for BA. BA is I by 5. Now BC is I by 3. Okay. Now let us determine what is the K value, stiffness value, relative stiffness value for CB and CD. C is the joint, CB and CD is there. The length of the member CB is 3 meter, that's why I by 3, and the length of the member CD is I by 4. Now we have solved all the relative stiffness value. Now let us find out the joint stiffness of B and C. So to calculate the joint stiffness of B, we need to sum up the stiffness values of BA and BC. So the sum of that is written here. Now similarly, the stiffness value of joint B is solved over here. Now once you solve the joint stiffness and relative stiffness of individual members, we can solve the distribution factor for individual members, right? So for member BA, the relative stiffness is I by 5. I by 5 divided by 0.533 will be equals to 0.375. Now similarly we can calculate for BC and CB and CD. So once you solve the distribution factor, our next step is to draw the table for end moments. Okay, after solving the fixed end moments, after solving the moments due to sinking, moments due to rotation, we need to start solving the end moments. The end moment is solved using this chart called as balancing chart, which I had explained earlier to you. Okay, so in this I would like to briefly explain you the rows that are considered. Okay, some of the rows that you are already familiar are joints. Okay, so the first row that you write is the joints, and the next row is the members that are connected to individual joints. After that you will write the distribution factor for all the members. Lastly you will write the fixed end moments, right? So this used to be your set of rows that you have already written in the previous problems, right? There are other two that I have included, one row which is called sinking, the other called rotation. So whatever the moments that I calculated earlier with because of the sinking, they are to be written here. So I have calculated the moments due to sinking for M, AB, BA, BC and all of those. So I hope you remember that we had solved for M dash AB, M dash BA, M dash BC, M dash CB, M dash CD, M dash DC, right? So I hope you remember how we solved this also. Previously we have solved it. Okay, so we need to substitute all those values in this format, in this row. Okay, once you write down all the moments that are causing due to sinking, the next is that we'll account all the rotation. Okay, so as we know, there is only one rotation that was given to you, the rotation that is at the end A. So if there is a rotation that is applied at end A, so there will be two moments that will be created. One is moment at the near end and more moment at the far end. So I hope you remember that we have solved these two also. This is your 4 EI theta A divided by LAB. This is your 2 EI theta A divided by LAB. Now similarly, if there was a rotation on the D end also, we would have written here. Now there is no mention of rotation in any of this, so that's why what we'll do is that we'll keep blank here. Okay, so the moments due to rotation is blank for BC, CB, CD and DC, but we have solved the moments due to rotation for member AB, which is 2.44, representing the 4 EI theta by L, and for BA half of that will be sent to this side, which is your carryover moment. So carryover moment is a half of this, which is equals to 1.22. Okay, so once you write these all row, first row is the joints, after that you will write member, then distribution factor, fixed end moment, sinking moment and rotation moments. So once you complete this, the next step is to write the initial end moments. So in the previous problems that we solved, we had not written initial end moments. So here I am giving you another set of row called as initial end moments. Now in initial end moments, what you need to do is that you have to take the sum of the moments that are due to fixed end, sinking and rotation at each member. Okay, now let us go to member AB. Okay, this is your member AB. So we have fixed end moment, moments due to sinking, moment due to rotation. We need to take the sum of this and write in the row called as initial end moments. Okay, so here we need to write. Okay, next step is value in the row is this one. Okay, for MBA. So for MBA we have rotation moment, we have moment due to sinking, moment due to fixed end. Okay, we need to sum all these values and write in the initial end moments for BA. Now similarly we can write the initial end moment for BC by taking the sum of these two and writing here. Now going for CB, in CB we need to take the sum of these two and write here. Okay, similarly for CD and DC is done. Okay, now this is another row which is called as initial end moments. Initial end moments are representing you the sum of the moments that are taken at given end, considering the fixed end moment, sinking moment and rotation moment. Okay, so you remember this is how I written the initial end moments. So once you write the initial end moments, what you need to do is that you need to neglect this part. Okay, forget the values that you are written in FEM, fixed end moment, sinking moment and rotation moment. You need to neglect this row. Okay, now these are your revised additional moment, revised initial end moments. Okay, so right now in next step these will be our reference. Okay, I hope you remember in previously what we did. We used to take the sum of all the moments at any given joint and we used to multiply the distribution factor, right? So here we are doing different. Okay, what we are doing here is we are taking the summation of moments at any given joint. Okay, only the initial end moments. Okay, so these initial end moments are representing the fixed end moment, sinking moment and rotation moment. So that's why we don't have to consider these values. Okay, these values are neglected while solving the problem. Okay, now these are our initial end moments. From here itself we are start balancing it out. Okay, now we have this value called 0.72 and 2.09. so 0.72 plus 2.09 is added. We are taking the sum of these two. Now taking the sum of the moments at any given joint, and we need to multiply with the distribution factor of BA and BC, and we have to write respective values. Okay, now taking the sum of these two, sum of 0.72 plus 2.09 multiplied by the distribution factor, we will write our balancing value. Okay, balancing value. And you also know that while balancing it, what we need to do is that when we take the sum of this, we have to change the sign symbol. If I take the sum of this, it will be positive symbol itself, so we need to make it negative. So negative of that sum multiplied by the distribution factor we are writing here. Similarly 0.72 plus 2.09, we will get a minus value. Minus of that value multiplied by 0.625 we need to write over here. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. Now going to the next joint, which is C joint. At C joint, what we will do, we will take the sum of the initial end moments. We need to take the sum, we need to change the sign symbol, multiply the distribution factor respectively and write down the values. Okay, so now we have written the balancing value for CB and balancing value for CD. Once this is done, now we have balanced B and C. Okay, now after balancing, what we need to do, we need to take the carryover. Okay, so you remember how to take the carryover. For if you apply any moment at BA, we need to carry over to AB, and watch carefully in the previous videos. We need to refer what are the far ends. If the far end is fixed, then only we will carry over. If the far end is pinned or roller, we need to stop carrying it over. We need to make it 0, right? I hope you remember. Right now joint A is a fixed joint, so that's why we are carrying it over. Okay, how much we will carry over? As you know already, it should be divided by 2. So 1.053 divided by 2 will be carried over to the end AB. Now similarly for BC, this is your 1.756. Half of this will be sent to this side for CB. Similarly, the moment that is applied at CB, half of that will be sent to BC. Okay, now there is a carryover which has been done between BC to CB and CB to BC. Now going to this member, which is CD, there is an additional moment that we applied, there is a balancing moment that we applied here, which is minus 4.63. Half of this will be equals to minus 2.315. Okay, now this is your first iteration. We completed our first iteration. Now after first iteration, as you can see, still the joint B and joint C are imbalanced, right? By carrying it over, we have imbalanced the joint B and joint C. Now these values, whatever the value that we got here, this should be balanced now. How do we balance this? Minus 3.085 again multiplied by BA is written over here. Now similarly, minus 3.085 is multiplied with this and written over here by changing the symbol. Okay, it is minus. Now we need to balance it by applying it positive value. Okay, now similarly for joint C is also done. 0.878 is multiplied with the distribution factor for CB and CD and written over here. Okay, now again this is the second iteration of balancing that is done between B and C. Now again the carryovers that we need to do, the carryover between BA to AB and BC to CB and CB to BC, then CD to DC. Half of the value should be carried over. Okay, now again after the carrying over, we can see that there is imbalance between B and C. We'll go with another iteration. Once you reach another iteration, I thought that this was enough for me to solve or simplify. You can further simplify if you want to by next step also. Now what I'll do is I'll balance. How do I balance? This value that I got should be multiplied by the distribution factor and changing the sign symbol, I'll balance it. Okay, similar thing is done for joint C also. After that I'll carry over. Okay, so this is the last iteration. Okay, after this what I'll do, I'll balance and I'll carry over for the far ends only. I'll not carry over in the internal joints. If I carry over in the internal joints, I have to go for another step, right? So after this, I thought like this was more than enough. My moments that I calculate, end moments that I calculate will be far more precise, right? So considering the limitation of my precision, I have solved the MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB, MCD and MDC. Okay, now here what I'll do is, as you know, this is your last step. The last step where you will not carry over within the internal joints. Okay, only for the far joints you will carry it over. Okay, once this is done, what is the next step to be done? We are calculating the end moments. How do we calculate the end moments? We are taking the sum of all the values. Okay, now remember, while taking the sum of all the values, you need to take the sum of only these values. Okay, I told you to neglect the FEM, sinking, rotation, because all these three are included in initial end moments itself, right? So you need to take the sum of all this. So sum of 8.06 minus 8.06 minus of 0.52 plus of 5.78 plus of 0.0465 minus plus of 0.515. If you take the sum of this from here to here, you will get to know how much is the end moment at AB. So MAB is minus 7.997. Similarly, to calculate MBA, what we need to do, we need to add all these values from here to here. So let us add all these values. You will get to know how much is MBA. Now similarly, we can add all these values. We can calculate MBC, and in a similar manner we need to solve for MCB, MCD and MDC. So these are the moments that I have got from moment distribution. Okay, now you can verify the values that I have arrived using the slope deflection equation and moment distribution method. Okay, anyhow, the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram will remain same, because we are just solving the same values with two different methods, right? So we have analyzed this structure, this continuous beam, using the slope deflection, and we have solved it by moment distribution also. Now if you find any difficulty in solving any of these problem with any of the method, you can message me, or if you find any difficult problem that you have encountered in question paper or in any of the textbook, you can send it to me so that we can solve it. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. Now if you want me to solve more problems on beam, on continuous beam using the moment distribution method, I'll solve it. If you want me to proceed to non-sway frames, we can go to non-sway frames. Okay, please mention this in the comment section. Okay, thank you.